Welcome to the Green Wisdom Health Podcast with Dr. Stephen and Janet Lewis, where you will learn about natural solutions to common ailments. And now, here are your hosts, Dr. Stephen and Janet Lewis.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Green Wisdom Health Show. I'm Janet Lewis.
And I'm Dr. Lewis.
And we are bringing you a show today about finding joy and being grateful. This was supposed to have happened a few weeks ago, but we decided that we needed a little bit more time to put this all together. You know, so many things have been happening, and I think we're ready for some gratitude and some joy. How about you, Dr. Lewis?
I'm always joy-filled.
I know, he really is, and he helps me stay joy-filled, believe it or not. He's a very inspirational individual, and as many as you know, because you're on all the social media things, he is always inspiring someone with something. So today, we're going to talk about physical things that you can do to stay in joy. And we are also going to talk about some nutritional supplements you can take to help you find joy if you're having a hard time and you're feeling a little bit of depression or whatever may be going on. You know, the winter never helps these type situations because of the cold, dark, quick to dark days in the evenings. But we are all going to get through this. So we're going to talk about the power of positivity first, because it tells, our consumer culture tells us to buy more, do more, be more. But what about little things in life? Shouldn't we be getting back to basics, like that brilliant yellow leaf glinting in the sun, your children's happy smiles when you take them out in nature, which we love because we've moved to a lake house and we get to enjoy a lot of those moments.
She said, I want a picture of that tree that turned, oh my God, so gloriously red that people from across the lake would take a picture of it. She said, I think tomorrow. I said, you better do it today. Well, the wind blew and leaves gone.
And I missed it.
Take the opportunity. The moment of power is always now.
I could not believe that. It was so beautiful. And I was like, I got more than one day. And I came out the next day, and Mr. Nature over here was exactly right. It's like he has some kind of sixth sense with nature. And the leaves were gone, but my woodpecker's still out there.
So she has to go to Billy Bob to get a picture of our tree.
That's true. But little things like that, taking time to just sit and realize that God has given us another day to get up and smile and be happy, and the sun shining most days, it just lets you know that, He's not done with you, so there's a reason why you're here, so we might as well smile. So, Dr. Lewis, what would you like to add about joy and gratitude?
Well, hopefully this is going to be a good show because, frankly, we're doing it. We're shooting from the hip, so to speak. And, again, Janet and I decided a few months ago not to have the same notes. We don't have a clue what the other one has. So if it goes together, it's by the grace of God, at least. First thing you should do to have joy is your emotional mastery. People say, but I feel sad. I said, well, you can feel some other way, too. I mean, you do have a choice. Most of us speak 100 negative things, and then we speak one time, oh, it's going to be a good day, and then you follow it with 100 negative things. It's like, oh, good God, just shut up. If you can't add to the joy, shut up. Oh, well, that was harsh.
That's happy.
That was harsh. And the thing is, how many of you have been around somebody like that? It's like, God, I wish they'd just shut up. Well, here's the point. The point is, if they're that negative, then you have an obligation and a duty and the power to bring them up. So take mastery of your emotions. The other thing, of course, this is what we're into, is physical mastery through nutrition. And, of course, chiropractic, I still adjust a lot of people, even though I retired. So, you have to turn to the source. And there's this lady the other day. People give us inspiration, and I really, really appreciate it. There's a lady named Deborah from California. She's a real sweet lady. And she just got she's board certified health consultant. And she said something about, well, keep God in your podcast. And I told her, well, my heart gives me no choice. Now, sometimes it's intimidating to me. I don't have complete emotional mastery. it's intimidating to me that people say, I love it because you include God. It's obviously that you're a Christian. Is like, yeah, that really intimidates me because I'm one of the worst Christians I've ever known. Sometimes I enjoy the sin too much, but
that's exactly what Joe told me yesterday when I talked to him, is exactly what you just said. So I guess we are supposed to keep God in it first and let people know that he still exists.
Yeah, Joe talked to Janet, and I was jealous.
And Joe's a doll, and his wife. And they, sometimes they inspire us. And his wife actually wrote a book that's available on Amazon.
Yeah, that's one thing I would... this is not exactly in the order, but again, we shoot from the hip, and we kind of like it that way. Spontaneity is worth a lot. Joe's wife, sweet wife, Jody, her name is Jody Papard-Lataki, and she wrote a book called Letting Go, Finding the Freedom in Surrender. It's a really, really good book. I was inspired to give mine to my new step-granddaughter whose mother died of brain tumor, cancer, and she's a young teenager, so she's already mixed up anyway, and then she's going through all this. I hope to goodness this book inspires her. And of course, Amazon lost the order, and so Janet said something, and they just automatically sent me another one, and Joe says, no, I don't want payment. You were just blessed that way. So if everybody listening, it is a spiritual book, but it's very intelligently and humorously written, and it's got places for you to write so that you can go inside of yourself and find out how you're really feeling. I think everybody listening should go buy 3 or 4 of these books, one for yourself, and then give the other ones away, because the more you give, the more you're going to get back from the universe, and you want to make sure that you're giving the good. So Jody Papard-Lataki, Letting Go, Finding Freedom in Surrender. Yes, I've read it. Yes, I've given it away. And yes, I'm going to read it again. Jody, you did a great job. Thank you.
And that's funny, because that was the next thing I was going to talk about, was learning to give. And whenever you can't get so caught up with your day-to-day lives that you forget the joy of giving. So giving back takes us out of ourselves and shifts the focus to someone else.
And when I went off just a while ago about I have a habit of carrying a pocket full of angels, and when somebody's super, super negative, I walk up to them and grab their hand and put that little pocket angel in their hand, and that kind of changes their attitude too. So giving in lots of ways, and you got to hug them even when they don't like being hugged sometimes, even in this time when we're not supposed to touch each other. Yeah. The sanctity of the human touch. I said a long time ago, the thing we've learned through COVID is how much we have, how little we need, and the value and sanctity of the human interaction or human touch. Remember that, folks. Go hug somebody, and it really helps. So if you do that, you have the emotional mastery, then you get the physical mastery, which we'll talk about some of the supplements, relationship mastery. And people ask me all the time about my relationship with Janet. I said, I don't know. 21 years later, she still likes me. I don't know why. And then she teases and said, well, you keep me drunk, which is not true. We tease about that. But I don't know. She's as joy-filled, and I think naturally, maybe that was my attraction to her. But look at her smile on Facebook, and she's that happy and joy-filled every day. So if that person doesn't feed you, well, maybe go somewhere else. Financial mastery is a really, really good one, and time mastery. And I'm not very good at that, but...
Well, the other thing is, are you in the driver's seat? A reality check is you are in control. Joy does not depend on outside influences. Joy need not wait for a moment in the future that may never arrive. Joy resides within and is available to you 24/7 if you're conscious of it and take action. And one other way you can take action and find it is through meditation. If you will get up in the morning and focus on being happy and full of joy.
I do. I go straight to the coffee pot.
Well, yeah, but a lot of people just wait for life to just tell them what they're going to have for the day by grabbing their phones and seeing all the negativity, and then it sets the tone for the day. If you would purposely work on meditating to not go to that space, for 10, 15 minutes, just take the time to yourself. So that's important, I think.
So you want to give, you want to buy somebody's coffee, you want to buy their lunch, you want to give them a sincere compliment. And Rob, who's been doing our stuff for years, he said this morning, this is on Messenger, and this was 6:20, and I was answering him shortly after that. Good morning, Doc, asking for a friend, da-da-da-da-da-da. And Denny says, you're the best. And people like you, Rob, you make it worthwhile. Thanks.
Yeah, maybe this show is more like why Christians get sick, you think? Because, we had that.
Somebody wants me to. Sorry, I'll get around to it, Rich.
Well, I think you're kind of doing it because that's really kind of why they do get sick.
Well, I've got another whole show on that if you want to do it. But frankly, folks, you've got to understand, you've got to know your strengths and your weaknesses. And I know Janet's way, way, way brilliant. And I couldn't get this on the podcast. I don't know how to open up the computer. So
I'll help him open up the computer, and he can talk to y'all just like he does. He's pretty good at it on Facebook.
Is it Facebook? I thought it was Facebook.
Yeah, so I think, we have some, I don't know if you want to call them questions, but they're more like some really good inspirational things from what people have been telling us that I thought we'd share because they wanted us to share it with you. We have a lady here that's local that's been seeing us for, probably 6 years now, I guess, and she was a really bad diabetic. She's still a diabetic, but she was like off the chart scary. I've never seen an A1C so high diabetic. And bless her heart, she tried for years and took all of our supplements of what we recommended for her to do. She'd get better. She'd make slow progress, but it wasn't fast enough. And I think genetically, they have some issues in the family with diabetes type symptoms. Long story short, she wound up doing our specialty panel that we have with the gluten and food sensitivity testing, which she said, I don't think this really fits me. She said, I don't really think I need this. And we were like, I think you'd be really surprised if you just ran this to see what might be missing. Well, when she got those test results back, she took it to heart. She said, I spent $600 on this, and she said, I'm going to do what it says. And it told her what foods to eat and what not to eat and things that she actually thought were good for her, but genetically were not good for her, like parts of the eggs and part of the other, like she couldn't eat the yolk, she could eat the white. It was weird stuff. And she did everything it said to do, and I've been watching her come in here. Now, that's been about 3.5 months ago, I guess. And every time she comes in to get more supplements, she looks different. And she a couple of times before she came in last, she said, I'm walking now. She said, I have the energy to walk. I'm actually going walking every day. And I said, well, that's wonderful. Well, she walked in here the other day, and she said, I want y'all to know that my A1C, which an optimal A1C is supposed to be about, 5.4, 5.6. That's where you really want it when you're in the sweet spot. For her, she started at a 12.8, which is really, really bad. But she came in here the other day and said, my A1C is an 8.8. And we were like...
I said that's physiologically impossible to do it that quickly.
In 3.5 months, she had managed to drop from a 12-something to a 8-something. And it is. That's like a huge decline, but it was because of the way she changed her diet. And then she turned around and she said, and by the way, I have earwax now. And we were like,
what the heck?
I know, we were like, don't everybody have earwax? She said, no, I have brown earwax. She said, you don't understand. She said for 30 plus years, her earwax had been white.
Yeah, oozing white. Because
it was yeast. Because her sugar was so high, her body created yeast. She said literally, my son and daughter-in-law would come over and they wouldn't shower after me because they said, ooh, your mom has white earwax. And she said, do you know how embarrassing that is? And she said, do you know how rewarding it is to have regular earwax?
And that goes back to what makes a good life is if you're grateful for the little things, God will give you the bigger things.
I have never seen anyone so happy in my entire life that they had brown earwax. I mean, she went on and on about it, and it's little things that we take for granted every day that, people that have health or they've been working at health and they haven't had those health challenges like that, they have no idea what someone's suffering through. and how you could be a light somehow to help them by just something small. And, for her, that was huge. So thank you for making our jobs feel like, we're doing something real right down here, helping people get better. We appreciate all the positive feedback also.
Yeah, you inspire us. And, we talked about the Kinloch pecan oil, which we have no financial association. But Alan from Maine ordered some of this Kinloch pecan oil from down south, and he was kind enough to write a letter about how good he liked it and how the taste was really, really good. Folks, little things inspire us. And, of course, I was on the feed for Rob from Michigan I was talking about, and this is way, way back. He said, "Hey, Doc, I want to thank you for the nice gift you and Janet and team sent with my last order. Wasn't sure what it was until I listened to your podcast. Honey, so very thoughtful. I thank you very much. I will ration it. I don't want a BS spike." You talking about bacon sandwich or belief systems or blood sugar or thanks, Rob. So all the good things you do, go find somebody that's downtrodden. Do a pattern interrupt if they're super, super negative. Give them a big hug. Give them a pocket angel. Take them a cup of coffee or a cold beer or something. And there's things, again, sometimes I'm sorry because I'm really not a very good Christian, but here's the thing you've got to remember: weeping may tarry for the night, but joy comes in the morning.
Right, and there are people out there that physically are having a hard time finding joy because they are physically sick. The ones that have not been doing any kind of nutrition or don't know about nutrition. Maybe they've never run their lab work. For those of you that don't know what we're talking about, we actually do run low-cost lab work across the United States so that we don't guess at what's wrong with you. But you really may be stuck in a spot because physically you're just not able to get over the hump. And I wanted Dr. Lewis I wanted him to talk about a product, and I've got a product here that we could help get you over the hump quicker.
Oh, she's going to surprise me. What product do you want me to talk about?
I wanted you to talk about the acetyl L-Carnitine and tell us about what it does. Most people have never heard of it, and you're going...
It makes you hyper because I took some this morning.
Oh, see, that's not something that you normally hear about, though. What is acetyl L-Carnitine?
I need to be hyper because I'm slow. It gives you energy. It helps with the mitochondria in your cells, and the mitochondria are the little powerhouses. It's really super duper good for your brain. It's really, really good for cardiovascular health. It's good for some other things I won't talk about, but it helps with healthy cognitive function, the way you think. It helps regenerate peripheral nerve cells. Of course, me being a chiropractor, I'm always thinking about musculoskeletal, and it actually provides antioxidant protection, and many people need that. No, not many. Everybody needs that. So by doing all that, it promotes the cellular energy production. Acetyl L-Carnitine I take between 2 and 4 capsules a day. And again, I do everything slow. I'm methodical. I'm boring. So when you hear me speak here, that I'm on hyperdrive. Even though some people said, "You talk so slow on the podcast, I have to speed it up to 1.25. So, yeah, acetyl L-Carnitine is really, really good adjunct. It doesn't show in the lab, but sometimes people, it's like, well, it's good for your brain, it's good for your heart, it's good for your energy. They'll say, okay, I'll take it. And I do have a lot of people that take it.
See, that's just not a normal one you hear of. I mean, you hear of magnesium is another one.
Yeah. Everybody needs magnesium, and it depends on the type, too. That could vary.
And then mine that I've got over here is L-theanine, which is another one that y'all probably have not heard much about. Some of you may.
Makes you speak Southern, like y'all.
Yeah, it makes you say y'all. It's an amino acid. It's most commonly found in tea leaves and in small amounts of bay bolete mushrooms. It can be found in both green and black tea, but caffeine is also found in green and black tea. So if you're trying to help with anxiety and stress,
do more.
Just straight L-theanine, not the tea part.
Don't do like Dr. Lewis does. Another cup of coffee.
But it really does help ease stress. It helps you to unwind.
She takes a lot of it, personally. She does.
Yes.
I don't know that I've ever even taken it, but it's a precursor to some of these neurotransmitters. And Janet is the type that over worries, but that's the only reason we're successful here is because she does that.
Because I'm OCD.
I like it. It looks good on you. But
That's why you people get your packages so fast.
Yes. People say, can you add this to my order? Nope, it's out
gone.
the door. But it helps her focus and stay between the lines. But she has OCD. But again, that makes our business successful because it wouldn't be without her.
But it helps me with anxiety and stress relief. And especially when you got, like for me, I can tell when I do get very stressed, I'll get racing heart type things. It does really help calm that down. And another thing it helps with is blood pressure. So maybe that's got something to do with it. It helps with blood pressure control for people that are experiencing blood pressure issues in stressful situations or ones that have higher blood pressure after certain mental tasks. But I personally take like 2 of those at bed. I'll take 1 or 2 during the day. You're not going to overdose on it. It's like, it's just...
Yeah, kids love it. They take it, just mix it up in anything.
That is true. I forgot about that. It actually helps focus with kids as well.
Yeah. And they need it because some people don't like online learning.
And it helps them with attention so they can stay with their task longer,
Right.
especially if it's a demanding task. It actually helps with immune system, helps with decreasing the incidence of upper respiratory tract infections.
Oh, and probiotics also. I know it's a little bit different, but probiotics help make you happier because of the GABA, the serotonin, anxiety reducing. And we push the holy heck out of probiotics. And sweet little Lauren's put a picture of one of our probiotics that has super, super helped her. And then Ruth L. put amen, it helped me too. So
Target GBX. Yeah, we love that. I break that one out whenever
I get to be to live with. She says, here, Stephen,
when I know that I've got somebody or something that's getting ready to happen that I know I'm not going to really like and I need to be really nice about it, I will take a Target GBX and it'll be like, it's great, it's totally fine, just whatever you need to do.
So let me throw in a little scripture here because Deborah said, thanks for including God. There's a scripture in Galatians that says, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, and faithfulness. And Deborah, I have to admit, I've failed a million times on that. But if you squeeze an orange juice comes out. If you get squeezed and anger comes out, that's not it's not a reflection on the road rage idiot out there. It's a reflection of the anger that comes out of us. So be careful what your spirit is showing, because we do have a spiritual tendency that we should be giving love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, and faithfulness.
Well, and then the other thing is we had a question about what are some of the best products for sleep. Theanine's probably one of those.
Yeah.
5-HTP, because there's a lot of people that are, especially with what's going on in the world today, they're laying there at night just rehashing all kind of things that they have no business rehashing. They didn't think about it while they were awake, but now that they've gone to bed, it's time to break it out, and you just can't shut it off. 5-HTP really helps stop that.
And for people to say, I've tried 5-HTP, it doesn't work, well, try our brand, because I've had 1,000 people say, well, hey, yours worked. Well, some of the stuff that's labeled 5-HTP is labeled like your ex. They didn't work and they were harmful to you. So, be willing to trust someone.
GABA is really good at helping you sleep.
That's a piece of God, too.
Most people have heard of melatonin. Melatonin helps keep you asleep.
I take a CBD with melatonin plus 3 other melatonin. I take the chewable minty melatonins. And I had a lady yesterday says, but I heard that over 3 milligrams is negative. I said, you can hear anything you want, read anything you want, but once it gets about 9 milligrams, it becomes a youth hormone and anti-cancer. So I'm getting younger by the day.
And then we had a comment from Rich that said, is it common to have improved memory after being off of gluten for a while?
Go ahead.
Well, go ahead. I've got more to this question, but go ahead.
Absolutely. I mean, gluten, people say, well, why was it not a problem 10 or 20 years ago? Well, it was a problem, but it's getting worse as we consume more of it. And there's more gluten in the wheat products than there used to be, somewhere between 4 and 40 times more. And we're becoming more and more leaky gut with time. I have a horrible gluten problem. And yes, my memory and a lot of other things got better after I gave up gluten. Yes. And Janet's not as bad because she's younger and better looking. And she's younger. She hadn't consumed gluten as long as I have, or probably not in the same amounts.
No, I just learned from you that I probably ought to slow it down. He says he seems to be remembering things much better lately, and aside from the multivitamin and probiotics, nothing has changed, but fully getting rid of gluten, even at parties. Sad face.
That's difficult, and
that really is difficult.
You know, when my mother would put a chocolate pie in front of me, I'd take a little sliver out and say, yes, ma'am. I would never insult my sweet mother while she was alive, but I didn't eat the same amount that most other people would eat.
But, Rich, there are some gluten-free pie shells. Yeah. We have a Natural Grocers here. It's available at Natural Grocers. I actually made Dr. Lewis, because it's his favorite, is sweet potato pie.
Woo-hoo.
And because every time we go for the holidays to someone's house, they have cookies, pies, and he can't eat it because of the gluten. And so I don't tell anybody that I'm doing a gluten-free pie shell, because you cannot taste the difference. And oh my gosh, they loved it. Everybody thought it was just the best pie. Dr. Lewis got to have pie.
And here's another thing about, if you speak good things more and more and more, you get it. And I said, yeah, I like sweet potato. And Janet doesn't want anybody to know she's a good cook, but she's absolutely fabulous. I said, but I want pecans. She said, I don't have any pecans. And a friend of mine walked in. We weren't here, but walked in and gave a box. Gave it to Brandy. Says, here, this is for Doc and Janet.
He manifested pecans.
Right out of Albany, Georgia.
I mean, the person didn't even know. Day. Yeah, he didn't even know we were looking for pecans. I thought, oh my God, now I got to make a pecan pie too.
And it was delicious too.
So
now, she didn't make it out of the K-Row syrup because that's high fructose corn syrup. Oh, sorry,
and
K-Row.
That's so sad, isn't it? Because that used to be so good.
No letters from K-Row. She got organic maple syrup.
Maple syrup.
And it was a little bit different, but in a really, really good, rich way. There's ways to get around the bad food and still enjoy your favorites. And
if you want to ask somebody that knows all about gluten, what to eat and what not to, she's super good at it. It's Brandy that works for us. I mean, she's young, but she's always had gluten issues, and I mean, she has some incredible recipes, some things she can tell you to purchase so you don't feel like you're losing out on eating. Mm-hmm. And she really helped Dr. Lewis when he found out he had the gluten problem. So Brandy's very knowledgeable about gluten.
People ask me, it's like, I don't know. Ask Brandy. She is a wealth of information. And for those of you like Rob that thinks we're super, super efficient and fast, Brandy needs your gifts and accolades too.
Oh yeah, she is our right arm. Brian had a question about he was listening to the podcast episode where you said that an insulin level over 7 or 8 is not good. Mm-hmm. What are the steps to lower the insulin level?
Oh God, I'm trying to be nice. There was this doctor that would give out the drugs, and he would tell people, get your head out of the trough, and it's like, God, that's rude. But you got to quit the sugar, the artificial sugars, and the things that turn to sugar, like wheat, gluten, the high glycemic index. If your triglycerides go high, that's your diet, or your diet. And don't tell me, but I eat good. And it's like, no, you don't. And when my triglycerides go high, I say, hey, Stephen blew the diet. So,
well, and the other part of that kind of goes back to our statement about Ola, that was thinking she was eating everything right. She had the 12.8 A1C, which meant her insulin levels were super high too.
Yeah.
And once she did that test, which I know it's $600, but believe it or not, that's about a $3,500 test that we're doing for $600. Trying to help you guys out so you don't have to figure out, why can I not get this down? She was shocked. She said, I really thought I was eating well. I thought I was doing the right things. And when that pointed out the things she could and could not have for her genetically, it made all the difference in the world. And as that A1C goes down, guess what? So do your insulin levels. So
and the triglycerides go, and they'll clog up your liver, and it'll run around extra insulin, and then it clogs. Well, it deposits fat. So, folks, you got to speak it. You can have excuses or results. You can either find a way or make one, but you do have that choice.
Right. And again, if you're new to our show and you need to find joy and you've not ever done anything to find out what's going on with your health, it is the new year. So why not take the first step to having health for the year? Go to the website at greenwisdomhealth.com, fill out the health survey, get started. The lab is super inexpensive so that you're not guessing at what you need to take. And Dr. Lewis, could you leave us with some joy-filled words for the ending of this week's show?
Hang around me. I'll fill you full of joy or cold beer, one or the other. I got the look. The thing you've got to realize is we do have power. We were given power. We all have it. We're all special. You can speak it into existence. Just speak more good than you do bad, and you create it. So here's the thing. If you can't for a moment love yourself enough to do it, then do it for someone else, because you never know how far-reaching something you say, you think, or you do today will affect the lives of millions tomorrow. It's better to light one candle than to curse the darkness. Get the big idea. All else follows.
Ooh, that's good. Well, I don't have anything else to say after that, so all I'm going to say is you guys have a blessed week, and Happy New Year. We're so excited about this year, so let's get it rolling.
It's going to be a good one.
All right. See you next time on the Green Wisdom Health Show.
Once again, our show has come to an end, but your hope in your health is only beginning. If you or a loved one are in need of a different outcome and are waiting for a brighter future, take the first step and go to our website and fill out the health survey. Please don't keep us a secret. If you know someone that could benefit from this podcast, please share this show with your friends and family. You are only one step away from a life worth living.